Welcome back to the Indie Spotlight, boils and ghouls. This week we're going to be checking out a really cool book. It is called Dishoom, and this series was done by a guy named Sam J. Royale. Now, Sam was involved with the Image Grand Design series, and he actually did 3 pages of the Mac story for that, which is where I knew him from. So I ended up getting a hold of him, and I asked him about possibly contributing to the upcoming William Messner Loeb's benefit sale, which is kicking off on Monday. And it turns out the first comic that Sam ever read was a William Messner Loeb's Flash comic. So he sent me a ton of really cool pieces. Every issue of Dishoom actually comes in a paper sleeve. Okay, so it'll be like, they'll come in a nice protective paper sleeve. The cool thing is that a lot of times he offers sketches on those. And his sketches are absolutely amazing. He sent me a series of these for the William Messner Loeb sale, and this just gives you kind of a taste of his art. This stuff is all mixed media, pencils, pens, whiteout, colored pencils, whatever he could get his hands on. I mean, it is some absolutely phenomenal work right before we crack open the book. Dishoom is self-published. He is putting it out himself, and I was really excited when I saw these pieces, but what's super cool, like I said, is each one of these has a copy of Dishoom 1 on the inside. And when I checked out Dishoom, it kind of checked all the boxes for me as well. If you know anything about Uncle Jerk, then you know I'm a sucker for anthologies, and I also love physical art, and I just love the feeling of like physically created art, and I'm a big sucker for like painted stuff. And this is a amazing series. Dishoom is on its 2nd issue, and we'll actually take a look at the next issue before too long. It's on its way to me right now. But in the meantime, I figured we'd check out issue 1 so you guys can get all caught up. Now, I haven't had a chance to check out issue 2, but there is some stuff in here that could be continued. What's cool is each of these is kind of a self-contained story, and if you can't tell, he is very much into like mixed media. There's a lot of different types of work that he does. I really like the painting style on this. It's really pretty. Like, a lot of this wash reminds me a lot of somebody like Ian Biederman, who's coming from a very traditional tattoo place of shading and usage of like color and paints and stuff. I spent time as a tattoo artist as well. I also see like a lot of Cho in this. I can see a lot of like Cho in this piece. This one's really cool, the Sword of Chandra. There's 4 stories in here. The Sword of Chandra, like, I think probably is a self-contained piece, but it could potentially be like a recurring thing. There's a guy who's on a quest to recover a mythical sword that will help him defeat the werewolves that killed his father. What's cool is this kind of like sword motif design shows it's different, but it, like, you can see this like motif showing back up in his stuff throughout. It's nice. There's a kind of a through theme. But what's really interesting too to look at is the variance in art styles in here. It's super impressive to see just the versatility he's capable of. Not a lot of people are able to go straight from black and white, like traditional painted stuff, into very traditional line-based comic book work. This is super fun. Reminded me of an old like 50s pinup. These pages, I mean, his real strength lies in these absolutely insane compositions. His usage of color, and I love when he does these nice big, like, I don't really know what you would call, I guess, a splash page. I absolutely love them. They're insane. I also really like the design of, I assume his name, I assume that's probably Chandra, but I really like his design. He's like almost got the old school nubbin style Batman ears and that blue and the cape and stuff, but he's also got a lot of really nice like 50s. There's something that reminds me about like Sam J. Royale stuff that reminds me of Golden Age work for a lot of the like composition of faces, especially. This one's crazy. The Theo Portal. Like, this is about basically like trans-dimensional or interdimensional transportation, I guess. But you can see what's really crazy is just even in colors that are, or even in stories that are line-based color stories, like from one to the other, he totally changes up his style. Now, I love how he's not afraid to mix medias too. I'm a big fan of that. If you do it well, oh man, it works so great. If you don't do it well, man, it falls flat on its face. The Theo Portal's interesting. It's got panels where you can tell like pages were done. Usually when you see a page, you can tell he did a page in a certain way, but the Theo Portal has a couple of pages where it feels like he employed a couple of different tactics to get the result that he wanted. She is on a mission to like find her dad. She finds herself transported to this insane Alice in Wonderland place. And I think basically she like beholds her own truth in a mirror. And like she's been questing after her father and stuff. And it's just wasted ambition. Like she should be living her own life and doing something with it. It is a cool idea. This page is one of my... I think this page is my favorite page in the entire book. I wish there was an entire comic of his that looked exactly like this. These panels are just insane. I love how he did the old pixelated art in here too. I mean, he's just a master at mixing up styles. Dude can do anything. Sam is incredibly talented. Oh yeah, and here she is kind of confronting her own truth. And he's got really nice like narrative storytelling through his symbolism and usage of imagery and stuff. It's nice. And then we get the pull-out of the cover image. And she realizes basically her life has been spent trying to like find her dad who got lost in this crazy experiment. And he got transported to the same dimension that she went to. I think she went there to save him, but she ends up going back to live her own life as well as possible. This book is absolutely gorgeous. The printing on this is just really well done. A lot of these like smaller books or whatever, they get eaten up real fast when you're flipping through them. This one was actually put together really well. I don't like high gloss pages normally, but for the variation in art, you almost have to have high gloss for a lot of the like paint stuff that he's doing, because otherwise you're going to lose so much contrast. It's going to look muddy and blown out and useless, just unreflective of the product that it was produced from, in my opinion. So the paper stock, well chosen. It fits well. I like his sparing usage of digital interpolation of stuff throughout this piece. Like you can tell that he took a very mixed media approach of like whatever he thought worked. He wasn't stuck to like, I just want to make a comic that looks this way in this certain way, like it was from 1965 or from 1982, or from, you know, a lot of people get stuck in that mindset, and it does not do your book any good. You need to be able to roll with the punches and just do what your book demands. Like, otherwise, I don't know how you would have gotten proper reproduction of this kind of like his blending on some of this multimedia stuff. It's how smooth I assume this is watercolor on a lot of this. But his like colored pencil work is so smooth that like if you put a little bit of gradation and ran that through just a little bit of digital cleanup, I don't honestly know. Hey, I know he uses basically whatever he's got at hand, because he said that about a lot of these pieces. And you can see where they are totally like mixed media. You can see the white out and colored pencil and then markers, and it's just whatever he had. I assume probably that's much the same way in which he created Dishoom, and it works. It's not a haphazard approach. I don't mean to imply that. It's just a ability to deal with the subject matter at hand with your medium and media in the best possible way. I really do. I hope we get to see more of the Sword of Chandra in the second issue. I've got the second issue on the way, so we will be doing a flip through of that. And if you are interested in picking up a copy of Dishoom, there is a link in the description below. I believe he's still offering sketch options for a limited number of people on the paper sleeves, but I don't know exactly what the deal with that is. It's actually, Sam's going to be joining me after this on Instagram for a live chat. So that's one of the things I'll make sure to ask him about. I'll have follow-up details for anybody who's interested on my Instagram interview, which I always archive for you guys to check out in case you can't make the live streams, you know, that kind of thing. You guys still get access to the information. You can still watch these cool interviews and that kind of thing. Dishoom is absolutely incredible. I know you can still get copies of issue 1. Issue 2 just dropped. It's on its way to me now. Sam was out of town. And I'm really looking forward to chatting with him and getting to know him a little bit better and how he got into the industry, because this piece is really interesting. There's just so much variation within one piece. I'm a sucker for anthologies anyway, but knowing that he did this entire book on his own, and I mean he did everything. He laid it out, he lettered it, like he did the cover, like top to bottom. This is Sam J. Royale. It's super impressive work. I'm really looking forward to seeing what we see from Sam in the future. And again, I cannot thank him enough for this absolutely. I mean, you just take a look at the stuff, you know, this is what he's capable of. He sent these out to me in like, I think a week. I mean, these things are absolutely crazy. They're so gorgeous. And some of these are like the most unique takes. Like, that's so cool. I've been blown away by some of the stuff that we've gotten for the sale, but these are without a doubt, I think these are my favorite pieces. They were like the first big pieces I got. They're absolutely incredible. I love Sam's stuff. And if you are interested in checking out Sam J. Royale's Max stuff, I'll also stick a link to his work that he did for Image Grand Design. And he did 3 pages of absolutely mind-blowing Max work for that, as well as, I believe, 3 pages of the Spawn story. It's awesome. You can buy it digitally. There are no print copies available, but there are digital copies available, and all money from that goes to the Hero Initiative. So check it out digitally. I cannot recommend it enough if you're interested in seeing more of his Max stuff. But without a doubt, you should definitely pick up Dishoom. This is a great book. And I can't wait to sit down and talk some shop with Sam. So thanks everybody for tuning in this week. I have got a big mailbag episode coming up next week, and we're also going to be looking at Boneman and a few other books. I've got some really cool stuff planned. Cannot thank you all enough, as always, not only for joining me, but supporting independent comics and artists. It means a lot to me. If you did enjoy what you saw, make sure you hit that like button. Think about getting in the comment section below and letting me know if you really enjoyed what you saw. Make sure you Hulk smash that subscribe button. If you do that, make sure you ding the little notification bell so you never miss another video or premiere. Again, if you feel like you're in a position to help the channel grow, think about using the link in the description below to sign up for my Patreon page. For as little as $3 a month, you get access to tons of behind-the-scenes posts, updates, exclusive content like uncut interviews, and you can even get your name in the credits. If you want to support the channel, if Patreon is not your thing, have no fear. You can finally sign up for membership right here on YouTube. Just hit the little join button and make sure to select the tier and the perks that fit you best. If that's not enough, you can also make one-time donations towards specific goals or just tip the channel using the Ko-Fi link in the description below. And you can even pick up your very own JerkComic shirts like the ones you see on the screen now. As always, this video was brought to you by the Jerk Broadcasting Service, as well as generous grants from the Patreon, Ko-Fi, and YouTube members you see on the screen now. I seriously want to thank every single one of you that supports the channel and helps make these videos possible, with a super special thanks to my loyal Wednesday Warriors, Channel 10, Chasen, Clinton Salvini, and Mike Dolan. I really hope the quality and content is getting better, and I can't wait to see where this next year takes us with your continued support. Thank you again for helping this crazy dream of mine become a reality, and for sticking with me. I hope you all enjoyed, maybe even learned something, and as always, I really, truly, and honestly ask only two things. Keep it in those local shops, and keep reading comics.